Okay, to wrap up this session today before lunch, we have Renee Swannack speaking. So Renee will tell us how genetic counselling has helped her family make important decisions around her son, who has a rare and debilitating form of epilepsy. Renee is the co-founder of the KCNA2 Epilepsy Alliance and the online special needs parenting community, How to Make Lemonade. Please make her feel welcome.
Okay. Is it possible that you and your husband could be related? The first suggestion that our son's condition could be genetic came as a stab out of the dark. We're in a special care nursery with our newborn son, who was born having spasms and what looked like seizures. No, I'm not related to my husband. My name is Renee, and I'm the mother of the sweetest, happiest. I wasn't going to cry, but I do apologise in advance. Hear the nose. I'm a bit of a public crier. So I'm the mother of the happiest, most sweetest, loving little boy I could have ever dreamed of. He also happens to be blind, deaf, non-verbal, is unable to walk, has regular seizures, and eats via a tube directly into his stomach. All thanks to a condition named KCNA2 epileptic encephalopathy. Excuse me. When we first decided to have children, or are surprised into having children, we imagine the most amazing future for them. I like the analogy of how we dream up a story of what our child's future might look like. The beauty, I imagine, of parenting a neurotypical child is that while one story you might have conjured up might shift into another, nothing really changes. You delete that dream about your child being a champion footballer and add in the new bit about how he prefers to play PlayStation, or how you thought your daughter might help run the family business to find out that she'd actually prefer to join the circus. Dreams of the future shift and change, but you always have a fair idea of where things might be headed. As a SWAN parent, someone hits Control-Alt-Delete and totally wipes out our story that we had planned for our children. Instead, we stare blankly at a pile of empty pages that have no chapter listing, have no index, have no plot, and potentially no storyline. What were our hopes, dreams, and aspirations for our kids totally take a turn. Pictures that we had looked into the future were gone. Most of us don't have a picture as to what our child's future looks like. Suddenly we grab a biro and we're scrambling to fill pages with something or anything that might actually help our child. It might explain their differences, their delays, might stop their suffering, alleviate pain, and might even cure them. We meet with doctors who often have no idea, specialists who have nothing. I have an issue before. Okay. Sorry, I can't read my tears. Thank you.
We'll just take a quick break for a couple of minutes. Thank you. There were tissues on offer up there. And then we'll
restart.
I
just need a tissue so I can see. Thank you. Not even at the meaty bit, guys. Thank you. Thank you to the person that donated the tissues. Okay. No, I'm okay. Okay. We meet with doctors who often have no idea, specialists who can't pin anything down. We trawl the internet Googling symptoms and similar conditions and look anywhere for a link. Somewhere along the line, the suggestion that our child's condition might be genetic is raised. Out of nowhere, that creative literature around our child's future turns into a science textbook, full of percentages, charts, and scientific studies. Suddenly, we're wondering if, in fact, our grandpa had met my husband's grandma prior to the night of our wedding. Damien's first appointment with the genetic counsellor involved putting together a family tree, noting any neurological disorders. Beside awkward conversations about relatives that we didn't really want to admit to being related to, we drew blanks on both sides. Discussions around what genetic testing as part of a study involved, legalities, formalities, and then signing paperwork in order for Damien to take part and be exome tested. I remember not even being sure that we wanted a diagnosis for Damien. It would be so final, potentially incurable, and might come with information that would break our hearts. Would no diagnosis mean that this might just go away? Had the gene causing all of this trouble even been discovered? At the same time, I also blamed myself. Had I done something wrong? Had I worked too hard when I was pregnant? Had I not eaten exclusively organic vegetables? Had I not forwarded that chain letter when I was 12? Then we waited. The genetic counsellor called us to make an appointment to discuss Damien's results. And she was unable to give me further information over the phone. And the days dragged until the day of the appointment. On the 22nd of March 2018, Damien's results had returned with a mutation on his KCNA2 gene. The gene was only discovered in 2015. Gene that codes potassium channels in his brain. And not only was this rare, but Damien also has an even rarer variant within his variant that we've since found to have an even rarer variant within that variant, which leads to multiple disabilities. Damien has that one with only a handful of other children in the world. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. Steve and I were in shock, my husband. We didn't talk in the lift or getting into the car. We both just concentrated on getting home. We knew that eye contact or conversation would break us both. The letters that made up his mutation were seared into my head. I found the KCNA2 Parents Facebook group by the time Steve and I had left the car park. Soon after being added to the group, I found the one other Australian KCNA2 mum in the group who also suggested that I add myself to SWAN. Having other people and their stories to reference and ask questions to is invaluable. We've also since met one little boy who shares the exact same variant and multiple disabilities as Damien. You know that there's one other mum in the world whose sleepless nights look like yours means you're not alone, and neither is your child. We got tested and the results were negative. This is exclusively de novo in Damien. De novo, not to be confused with de niro, is Latin for new. They did explain though that KCNA2 could be a mosaic gene, which was another new word, meaning it might only present with some cells within our bodies, meaning that they couldn't rule out further children also having the same mutation. That being said, the genetic counsellor did explain that each year that passes past the age of 35, that our chance of genetic conditions like Down syndrome occurring would increase anyway. So by that stage, raising a child with Down syndrome was beginning to sound like a walk in the park. So with that on board, we dived in and had baby number 2. Hector was born in July this year. We didn't test him for anything, and we still haven't. It's a risk that we're prepared to take, knowing how much love Damien has put into our lives. A genetic counsellor tell us that to Damien would only increase the love exponentially. And that's something we've come to learn on our own. By now, we also knew too much about the 7,000 other rare genes that wouldn't be able to test for, that could pop up and give us something else to write about in that story of our life. A genetic counsellor won't tell us that our children are rewriting history, that they're contributing to a future that may be easier for the next family who are scrambling to write their story, that they're writing our story for us, that they're making us stronger and more resilient, grateful for the small things, able to find humour in dark times, friends in the most unexpected places, and giving me a really snotty nose. They transform us into specialists in their condition. They teach us to fight for what they need, to advocate for awareness, for funding, for equality of life, to get out there and to change the world for them. As my husband so lovingly explains it, they push us off a cliff and teach us to fly on the way down. This may not be the story that we had planned for our children, but it's a story as unique and as beautiful as they are. So, what advice should a genetic counsellor offer about SWAN kids? That they are rare according to the sheer definition of the word. Something that's rare is not common and therefore more interesting or valuable. They should say that they're genetically predisposed to bringing more love into our lives than we could ever imagine. That they are all de novo because they're spontaneous and one of a kind. That they all have a spectrum condition because they range anywhere between pretty cool and fantastic on a daily basis. That they're mosaic because in a way they break us and they rearrange us and our families to be more special and stunning than we could ever imagine. And of course, they should bring to everyone's attention the fact that they're all contagious. It's possible to add autism just by being around them, even if their parents aren't related. Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to take questions. Just quickly, just there's one note that I just wanted to make, that my husband and I decided not to test our second child. That's purely personal choice. It's not a choice I'd ever push upon anyone else. But we have friends that have had everything tested and are prepared to make whichever kind of decisions suit them. But I just really wanted to make that footnote, because before having children and being able to live this life of, oh, one day if I had a child, if I had that test and then this came back positive, you don't know until you're walking in those shoes. So that's really something I just really wanted to say, that's really important to me. And I don't ever want anyone to feel pressured or to hear a speech from someone like me that goes, yeah, you know, swans are awesome. It's tough. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I just want to let everyone know that positivity is a bucket, but yeah, some days are really tough. So while I'm crying tears of happiness now, there have been some, silent screams in cars and showers, and so just really wanted to make that note. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you. You know, that really, really means a lot to me. My son fills my bucket every day, and I am really, really lucky that I'm really blessed that he chose me to be his mum. I feel like there are stories in my heart that I can tell and share, and that I really hope that by me telling my story today about Damien, that if that just gets through to someone to understand just the importance of genetics and the importance of a community and the importance of just love and appreciating who and what they all are, then that's the reason why. Yeah, so thank you. That's really sweet. Oh, yeah, go for it. Okay, I'm actually a train driver, funnily enough. So I've got no history in anything medical. My genetics understanding prior to us having a child was, well, I wonder if I have a son, will he be as tall as me, and will he have my blue eyes, or my husband's brown eye? You know, that was as far as it goes. Since then, though, I've been sort of stepped into the space and just embraced it. I remember there was a time there where I didn't want to tell anyone. There was a time where I just wanted to keep it quiet and I just wanted it to go away. And then I met another mum in the children's ward whose son had cerebral palsy, and he was 13. And she'd been listening to conversations that I was having with doctors, and I'd heard hers, and we finally met. And she said, you know, don't ever feel that you need to get out there, but you can set your tone. So if you do go onto social media, you don't need to say, oh, this is really awful and I'm really sad. You can go, hey, you know what, this is what my son's got. And I took that advice on, and when I was ready, I did sort of go, yeah, this is our life. And if you want to be part of it, jump on. And if not, well, then that's cool. There's another boat behind us for someone else. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, I'm just a train driver and a mum, and yeah, who likes to talk, and yeah. Anything else? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Actually really bizarre. I really love writing, but I'm not a writer. And my mum bought me it was a day with Catherine Devaney, the Melbourne writer and comedian, and it was a few hours just to learn to write, and went along to that course. And there was, I think, 12 or 15 of us in the class, and 2 other mums happened to be special needs parents. We all come from sort of different kind of special needs, but the 3 of us formed a friendship right then and there. And we're kind of going, you know, what can we actually do to, you know, create a community? The 3 of us just getting to know each other as total randoms have made a difference just in our group chat. What else can we do to help other parents just go, yeah, we might all be in this situation together. Let's see what we can do. And that's where we sort of formed that whole making lemonade situation. We all launched lemons, and now we're making that lemonade, and just hope to, we're positive, but also tell the truth behind what life can really be like, and just use that as a way to, just let other people know it's okay, you know, that we're all here together, and we're all going to be okay. So yeah, thank you. Anything else? No. I think you gave me the tissue. No, thank you. Your perfume's lovely. Yeah. No, sorry, your question? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. No. You're very welcome. Thank you. I remember when Heather first asked me to actually do the speech, I thought it was all just going to be other parents. And so I was like, yeah, awesome. I'm going to be like, how awesome are our kids? How good's this? And then I saw the list and I was like, oh my God, they're all professionals and, you know, we're all over. Here's me. Just, yeah. So that was the end of the day. My roots are with parents, and I love the idea of actually letting professionals know, yeah, as much as we love and we appreciate having a diagnosis, our kids are more than that diagnosis. And I think it's really important that we all remind ourselves really often. So, yeah, thank you. Really awesome, guys. Hi. Oh, just Facebook. Yeah, it's just a public group called How to Make Lemonade. It's really hard to find because, funnily enough, you type in how to make lemonade, you're just going to get a lot of videos on how to actually make lemonade. Yeah. No, don't. Yeah. I'll actually, if Heather's cool with it, I might share our link later on for all the other SWAN parents. That would be awesome. Yeah, and share among everyone else. It's not just rare parents on there, any kind of parent who's got any kind of thing going on in their life. I've got a friend who's got twins and I'm like, just get on. That's kind of special, you know, like where that's all just being this together. So, you know, people that it's not even just parents, and I've got other friends that don't even have kids that are all just want it. Love the idea that the taboo stripped away, that we're on there just being ourselves and making these public posts, and anyone can learn from that. And that, yeah, we love that. You're very welcome. Thank you. Yay. Awesome. Add yourselves. Yay, I'm going to go viral now. All those likes and shares. But yeah, no, awesome. But thank you all for your time. And I do apologise for getting all snotty there. But yeah, thank you. Right. Go have lunch.
Wow. It's given us a lot to think about.